Hey guys, welcome to this week's Sunday Spin, where we take the music that we're spinning this week. I'm Terry. Unfortunately, Laura's still not with us, but she will be back soon, I promise. But I am here with Brandon from Punkerton Records and Hellas, Ohio. Brandon, welcome.
Hello, everybody.
So you do have a cool new festival coming out just in a couple, just right around the corner, really. You only have about 3 months left. Called Hellas, Ohio. Can you talk about it?
So Hellas, Ohio is a benefit show that we're going to do for Punk Rock Saves Lives, which we actually got in contact with the festival that you guys threw last year. But it's mostly Ohio bands, and it's going to be in the Cincinnati area at Swine City Brewing in Fairfield. And what it is it's going to be 2 nights with bands that are mostly from Ohio who were on some of my compilation albums that I did. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an all-day thing on that Saturday, and the Friday, it'll be a Friday evening. So, yeah.
So if people needed or wanted to go buy tickets, can they buy tickets right now?
Yeah, you can go to www.hellisohio.com and purchase tickets. You can do a Friday, a Saturday, or you can do a pass for the weekend. You can also include T-shirts. We're working on the designs for those, but we have sort of like a tentative, copy of what it's going to look like. There's going to be craft beer, there's going to be vendors, there's going to be food, so everything you could want. Currently we're working on partnerships with some of the local hotels so that people can get discounts if they want to stay the weekend.
Now, can we talk a bit about your lineup? You've got some pretty good bands on here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Friday, the headliner is going to be 500 Miles to Memphis, who are from the Cincinnati area. Some Kind of Nightmare, they're going to be playing as well. Viceroy Kings, who are from Dayton. There's a band called Extra Arms, who are from Michigan, actually. And they happen to be going on tour through there, and they're friends with the guys from 500 Miles to Memphis. So they asked if they could be on, and we were like, yeah, absolutely. And so that'll be a lot of fun. And then the opening band on that day is a band called Pretty Awful, who they're actually on my label. So that's Friday. And then Saturday, it's going to be headlined by Tiger Sex, who was actually at your fest. So Kelly and them are on board, which was really awesome, because they're definitely one of my favorite bands from Ohio. There's so many to name, but I'll just do a quick rundown. Bundy and the Spins out of Dayton, Trash Night out of Cincinnati, Prime Directive, who are on my label, they're out of Columbus, Darling Waste out of Cleveland, Huge, who's from Columbus, which some of y'all might have seen the B horror film Thanksgiving with the he's actually in that movie. So shout out to Ron Francis, really awesome to be on board. Hashtag lameassdads, who are out of Toledo, the Reedy Weeps, who are on my label, from Columbus, the Plan Bs, who are from Columbus, DOS, who's from Cincinnati, Misunderstood, who is from Indiana, and then Yard Sign, who's on my label, will be playing acoustic set as the opener. So we have a few more we haven't announced as far as acoustic acts go, but it's going to be a really good lineup. And so Hellas, Ohio is a play on the Hell is Real sign that is on the interstate right outside of Columbus. It's this big religious, make you feel guilty kind of sign. And I didn't necessarily like that. And that thing's been ripped off a million times. And I thought, Hellas, Ohio, this is perfect. That's what we'll call it.
Well, that's cool. I'm dying. I don't know. Maybe Hell's finally hit me. Oh my goodness. But yeah. I'm very excited for you. I'm very excited. I'm saving up my pennies. I promise. I am trying to just scrounge every, and it's no surprise that I also plan a camp. So it kind of feels like there's a little bit of like a camaraderie here. It's really cool to be able to talk to somebody who's kind of going through the same bullshit I'm going through, essentially. But yeah, I absolutely wish you the best. I hope your place is packed. I hope that I get to go and get to party with you guys, and also get to support some fantastic people in Punk Rock Saves Lives, the best people out there. But we are also here to talk about what we're listening to this week. And Brandon, who are you listening to this week?
So this week, it's a little less punk rock, but it is Gregor Barnett from the Mezingers. He's got his solo record came out last month, this month, a week ago maybe. Sorry, and it doesn't sound like a Mezingers album whatsoever. It's got obviously it's the same guy, so it's got a little bit of similarities, but it's got a lot of country-ish influence to it. And it's not just acoustic, he's got full band. It is definitely different. The reason I chose that, besides the fact that I'm listening to it now, is I'm going to go see him March 2nd at Mahal's in Lakewood, Ohio. So that'll be a lot of fun to check out. But these songs are all over the place compared, if you listen to the Mezingers versus this album. There is a song called Don't Go Throwing Roses on My Grave. And it's just really, I'm trying to, the proper way to word this, the country influence, it's really got that poppy, old school sounding country feel to it. And it's dark topics that he talks about, a lot of death on these songs. So it's definitely a sort of a big difference than the Mezingers, but I definitely would recommend everybody at least check it out, especially fans of the Mezingers.
Awesome. Well, I'll get right into my album. I saw your poster. I think the bands on there are fantastic. So I actually went with a Hell is Ohio band, and I went with Some Kind Nightmare. I want to thank you because you're the one that actually I remember it was a post that we had done for camp for, I think it was something like bands we should listen to, or maybe it was even one of their posts, but you had tagged us in it. And I think that's how I caught it, was that you should play at Camp Pennsylvania. And then they said, hook us up. And I'm like, well, who's this band? I checked them out. And this was a few months ago. But I have to say, I haven't been able to put this album down. And the album's called, Transplant Pulse. It came out back in March of 2020. And it's 9 songs, about 20 minutes long. I don't know if we would count that as an LP. It's a little bit shorter, like an EP, but the songs aren't very long itself. But man, there's some energy out of this band. Molly and Chai it's a 3-piece band, but their vocals are something else. I just love the absolute energy. They're not anything that's clean. I find it to be like a combo of street punk, but mixed with like a melodic punk to it, because it's not as fast and hard as I would normally typically listen to what street punk is. So the melodic just kind of brings it back and really makes it something music you can almost dance to. Opens up with Inside Salem. Molly sings this and I fell in love. She really reminds me of Brody from Distillers. That very it's almost like a gritty voice, very that grungy, hard. It's not anything very pretty, but it does carry a bit of a nice tone to it. There's a sweetness almost hidden in it, and it's almost that thing that kind of think of if you eat an apple and it tastes very tangy, but then you have that sweetness, it's just woo, that's the perfect kind of explanation I can always think when she's singing. But she is just gorgeous too, oh my goodness. But yeah, I really enjoyed the song. I find that the undertone very heavy, but it's still slow enough, and it's still something that you can grow up to. It's not something that I really necessarily want to hop in a pit and start smashing people like you would at a typical street punk show. It's something you really want to dance to, so I really enjoy that. After that, they have another one called Threat to Them, and I find this album to be incredibly politically charged. Inside Salem, not so much, but the rest of the album is very politically charged. Threat to Them was kind of how you might not be strong by yourself, but you're very strong in numbers. And, as long as you keep building each other up and really building your army, you will be a threat to them. And, to anyone that's potentially picking on you or making you feel like shit, just know that you have an army standing behind you and just watching your back and making sure you're okay. And Chai actually sings this, which I love when it's not always the same lead singer. You tend to get sometimes, I don't want to say bored, but you know what to expect. This album is not something you know what to expect. The only thing I did know what to expect was the fact that the melodies were going to be catchy as fuck. And it really did become catchy. It just wound up being songs that got stuck behind and kind of finding myself humming or like just like always like having to listen because there's like a catchiness to it. And I really enjoyed it. And make sure you guys go check out this album, I promise. And make sure you catch them at Hell's Ohio Fest because they are just, I'm sure they are going to be a huge crowd pleaser and a highlight for your festival. But I guess this brings us to our shout out portion. Who are you shouting out today?
I'm going to actually shout out #lameassdads out of Toledo. They are on Hell's Ohio. But they are one of the main reasons that this whole thing, started. They released a album or a single, Nowhere, Ohio, and it's a really catchy song. It's got sort of an Atari's feel to it, and the whole album it's heavily influenced. They even do an Atari's cover, but the song Nowhere, Ohio, I heard that and it just sort of clicked for me, and I was like, I want to do something with Hell's Ohio, and I came up with that, and their album came out a couple of months ago. You need to check it out. #lameassdads. Amazing band, very awesome guys.
All right, well, today my music video is actually coming from a Punkerton band. I went with Rules of Enragement and their song Underground Guy. It's lyric video, so I hope you guys enjoy. Brandon, thank you so much for joining me today. Best of luck with the festival, and make sure you guys go and check out all the Punkerton bands out there. I promise you will not be disappointed, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Thanks for having me.
Anarchy in the USA.
Once you were a metalhead, but now your life has changed. Somehow things are different, somehow things have rearranged. Smoking pot and dropping acid have made you an anarchist. You could have been a musician, but instead you play shit like this. What the hell has happened to the underground? Punk rock music must be something real. What the hell has happened to the underground? Oh yeah, that's right, it got sold out. Now you preach on politics and you speak of anarchy, but description's not your forte cause it's not a leftist party. You buy foreign shirts and ride mouse seat on stick. Man, they're just as bad as Donald Trump. You fucking posters make me sick. What the hell has happened to the underground? Punk rock music must be something real. What the hell has happened to the underground? Oh yeah, that's right, it got sold out. Fucking sold out. When they said punk rock is dead, so many fucking bands have let the cash go to their heads. You don't have to live in poverty to fill your punk rock shoes, but you better play your goddamn music like you got nothing to lose. What the hell has happened to the underground? Punk rock music must be something real. What the hell has happened to the underground? Oh yeah, that's right, it got sold out. Fucking sold out. It got its job selling stupid shit that no one fucking needs. Spends its time getting sloppy drunk down at the local Applebee's.